I shared that with you because... Well, hey there. Welcome back. Why do I do what I do? I do what I do because I have a strong need to share information. I have the desire to help people. I enjoy the process of finding solutions. I do not like not knowing something or only partially understanding it. I enjoy the act of writing as it makes me feel productive, smart, calm, and useful. Why did I just tell you this? I shared that with you because I have a new book. It's my 10th. But before we talk about it, we have to talk about Sigmund Freud. We have to talk about him because the book is based on a level of granularity above something that he wrote very long ago. He wrote something called the pleasure principle. His principle says something very simple, and that everything we do is broken down into the binary of seeking pleasure or avoiding pain. You may have heard me talk about this before, and it's worked its way into various podcasts and episodes and talks. It's something I researched and gave a lot of thought to and found to be true. Even the most nuanced and altruistic things in our life can still be broken down into those two things. And sometimes it's both. Sometimes you do something because it helps you avoid pain and it provides pleasure. And we're not just talking about base pains and pleasures. We're talking about pretty high-level stuff sometimes. We're talking about the things that life is truly made of. And I know life is made of three things: time, energy, and resources. But this is our desires. This is what drives us. So why am I talking about Freud's pleasure principle? Because I took it and extended it to the pain-pleasure principle, and then I found that there was something above it. Something really important. Something that explains why all the top performers are top performers. Something that explains why there's something your friend can do very easily, but you can't. It just comes naturally to them. It's just something that they can accomplish that you can't, even though you seem to have the same skill level, even though you seem to try and hit your head against a wall over and over again, but it just doesn't work that way for you. It explains why you've had a goal that's been driving you insane that you can't accomplish, even though you've made the time for it, even though you've said the mantras out loud, even though you've beaten yourself up time and time again, you seem to not be able to do it. And then you turn around and you do something that someone else would think is miraculous, and you're like, yeah, I just do that. It explains why you've become good at things, why you pursued various skills, and why you've hit these walls. In fact, the same thing that explains why you hit a wall can actually be the same thing that allows you to accomplish something else. These things have been placed inside us based on nature and nurture. They've been placed by us, sometimes consciously and sometimes subconsciously. And again, why do I tell you all this? It's because a while back, sitting on my living room floor, I asked myself a question. It was basically what I just said. I mean, if we could have what we wanted, wouldn't we just have it? If we could do what we wanted, wouldn't we just do it? I mean, if all that stuff we write down on a piece of paper, all these bullet lists and things, what if we just accomplish them? Why don't we? That doesn't make any sense. Why don't we accomplish the things that we clearly would get a lot of pleasure from? Something that would be tremendously meaningful to us. Why don't we just do it? So the question is, what's stopping us? So that question one Saturday morning that I thought, you know what, I'll put this in the back of my head and think about during the day while I'm doing other stuff. It didn't go away. It ended up being me sitting down and just sort of writing up my thoughts. But that turned into a 10-plus page document, and I thought, wait a second, what am I doing? Oh, I'm writing another book. So I'm letting you know that I just finished my 10th. And this book contains everything we just talked about and much, much more. And it's not just theory. It's based on Freud's pleasure principle, and it's what I keep saying as a granular level above it. The book contains over 50 citations from medical journals, books, citations from the National Institute of Health, Psychology Today, John Hopkins. I used the scientific method to disprove what I thought I was proving. And all I did was prove it even more. So if this excites you, the possibility of actually getting stuff done you could never get done before, the possibility of understanding that block that you have, that invisible thing that prevents you from doing either a thing or a whole genre of things, the possibility of using something that prevents you from doing one thing to help you to do another thing, if it's as exciting for you as it is for me, then I really think you'll like this book. Now, the ink isn't even dry. Well, there's no ink. Obviously, I write using software, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the ink isn't even dry, and it's in beta read right now. And what that means is I have select individuals who actually read the book and provide feedback to me. I'm hoping this book will also garner the endorsement of a clinical psychologist, as Three Voices has. If you're interested in being a beta reader, which means you essentially get the book for free in the stage it's in right now, you get to provide feedback, feel free to join my Patreon. Patreon's completely free. Joining Patreon's free. Joining my Patreon is free. It allows you to interact and connect, and all those comments you've wanted to make on my other podcasts, feel free. That's the place for it. And it's also the place where you can say that you want to be a beta reader. I may actually run a contest or two about some signed copies. I may end up giving some signed copies away to people who are kind enough to share their thoughts and actually make it through the book. But I don't make the rules, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But it probably will. Anyway, I'm really excited about this book. I hope you are too. I hope you can benefit from it as much as I have. And to those who are just listening to this and not reading this article on some other media or means, it's just patreon.com/Alchemy for Life. And you can always go to Alchemy for Life to find the link to Patreon there too. So if you're interested, it would be really cool. And you can always follow me on Amazon, and you'll also be alerted to when the book comes out. Let's do this. Let's do this together. And take care.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah.
Join the community, patreon.com/Alchemy for Life.
I believe in the better days. Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.